Guru Angelique. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to today's live. Yes, I feel a little disheveled here for a second. I've got a wild Wilma here. So Wilma is our new dog after Horton passed in October. We got Wilma just before Christmas. She's a poodle, Australian Shepherd, St. Bernard mix, and she's a puppy, and she is wild. So I was chasing her around the house trying to get stuff out of her mouth she shouldn't have, and she's chewing on things. And anyway, so I'm here. Let me just have a little giggle just to settle in for a second. Shake off all that. Deep breath in. All right. Today I want to talk about on Marvelous Monday about what do you do when your kids ask for a pet? What should you say to them? I mean, these are just my suggestions and my things that we did with our children with in regards to pets. But here's some ideas. If you have some ideas on how to navigate that conversation, please make sure to drop it in the comment, because you could be helping somebody else navigate things. Because really, there is no parent manual, and there's no pet manual really either. And so, how to combine the two, it can be a little bit to navigate. So my youngest, both my boys wanted a dog for a long time. And we talked a lot about the responsibilities of a dog and the responsibilities of having a pet. And they needed to show me that they knew what responsibility was. And so, like doing things around the house, picking up after themselves. We had some expectations of what that would look like. When you have an animal, what is a responsibility? And so we had really this conversation about what is that? So asking them what is responsibility. If they're too young to know what a responsibility is, or to even have a conversation with you, maybe they're just a little too little or too young yet to have a pet, unless you want it to be your pet and a family pet, and you're just going to teach that responsibility to them as you go along. But if it's more about that they want to have this pet for themselves, they want this pet, then what is that responsibility for them? What do they have to do to take care of their pet? A family pet's a little bit different. So we decided to get a family dog. So we all took care of the dog. So that was a great way for me to teach responsibilities to her, to teach responsibility to the children. But my youngest son wanted a red fire belly toad. And he was determined. He had all this money left for his birthday money, and he wanted a red fire belly toad. So the conversation was like, what is your responsibility with the red fire belly toad? And he was like, well, I have to make sure I feed it. I have to make sure it has water. I have to make sure all these things. Okay, those are your responsibilities. What's my responsibility as a mom to help you then? So my responsibility was to make sure he got to the pet store so that he could get his stuff. How is he going to buy his pet food if he didn't have any extra money? How is he going to navigate that? So we really talked a lot about all those things, and he got it all figured out, and he got a red fire belly toad. And he kept that toad, lived for quite a while. And then it just naturally passed. Nothing was wrong with it. It didn't lack any food or nutrients or any love by that means. It just passed away. It just, I don't know how long they're supposed to live for, but it didn't live for 10 years or anything. It was probably a few years or something. I don't know how long exactly it was, but he did show great responsibility in that. And he showed responsibility when he had Spike, his bearded dragon. My oldest son had a snake, which I will be talking about tomorrow, the kid's snake story. And he was very responsible with that. I mean, he was much older when this happened, when he got the snake. So he was responsible for feeding the snake, and he was responsible, and he got all the things that he needed for the snake. But let me tell you, that snake story is still drives me crazy. Oh my gosh, it was wait till I tell you the story. You're going to just be like, I can't believe that. Oh yeah. Anyway, but yeah, just I think that's the conversation when you're a pet owner. I took my children to the SPCA and I let them volunteer there, and we walked dogs, and then they had to clean up dog poop, and so they kind of knew what they were getting into when they got a pet, a dog or a cat or something along those lines. The bearded dragon, the red fire-bellied toad, the stick bug, those were a little bit different. They were like more of a family pet. They weren't necessarily their pet, which still kind of is a family thing, but it's really about their responsibility on how they're going to take care of this creature, of this animal, whatever it is. So yeah, this is a little bit of advice from me and from what I did, from what worked for us, and yeah, just setting up those guidelines of what that looks like, and for everybody, not just your child. If you have to get your child to the pet store, what does that look like? Is that an every Sunday thing, so that you plan this so that your child knows every Sunday we go to the pet store at this time, or whatever that is, because that really gives them some responsibility as well. Be like, don't forget, Mom, tomorrow we have to go to the pet store to get crickets for the bearded dragon or whatever it is. And yeah, and then how are they going to pay for it? How are they going to have the money to pay for this? It's not just about buying the animal or buying the pet. How are you going to continue to care for this pet, right? So those are some things that we had, and it was a great conversation, great way to get to learn about responsibility. So let's do celebration laughter and a nice deep breath to end it off. Okay, so let's celebrate. Let's imagine that we just got this new pet and we're so excited about it. So yeah. So good. Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So cute. So adorable. Oh, let's just finish with a nice deep breath in through the nose if that's available for you. And then exhale. Go out there and celebrate all those new pets that you might have, those conversations, have those conversations within your family. What would this pet look like if it fit into our family? How would we navigate taking care of it? Who's responsible for what? All of those things. Get out there and enjoy those conversations, and have a beautiful day. On top of all of that, remember to share a smile with a stranger, because you never know, it may just change their day. I'll catch you tomorrow for the snake story. You don't want to miss this one. If you're watching the replay, make sure you let me know where you're from. Ciao for now.